But I also will be speaking to the players tomorrow before training. I haven't spoken to the players for 3 years, okay? So that should be enough of an indicator. If I'm speaking, there's a problem.
Following semi-final heartbreak in the Royal London One Day Cup, Notts returned to Specsavers County Championship action with a series of fixtures away from home. Having already experienced defeat at the hands of Essex, the team now travels to the Isle of Wight to face Hampshire. The build-up to the match sees stalwart all-rounder Samit Patel left out of the team for the first time in 12 years.
The news was broken to me the day before, after training, and Mull and Morsey just pulled me aside and said, look, you're going to miss out. It wasn't a surprise, or it was a surprise, but I took it as in like, okay, no worries.
Go and grab a seat. I'm the bearer of bad news, mate. You're going to miss out. We're going to play Libs. I know you'll be gutted. But it is what it is. We want to change it up a little bit, we've got to find something, mate. So we're going to put Libs in at 5, Mull goes to 6 and go from there, okay? All right.
A little bit disappointed.
Of course you'll be disappointed. I know. I know you'll be disappointed, mate. But you know you've been around the game long enough to know the form, if you know what I mean. So we just get stuck in, me and you do our work, get ourselves sorted, and go from there.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was disappointing not to play, but sometimes that can happen. Like, you do need a kick in the butt to get going. And Morsey was probably trying to do that. But my attachment to the club is that I play for Notts through and through, and I am Notts through and through is what I'm all about. And if it means I don't play and we win, that's no problem. I have no issues with that. Well, how did I feel? Yeah, disappointed, to be honest. And that I'd let the team down, not knowing the fact that they probably should have needed me to play, and I'm not playing anywhere near that I should be, and yeah, that hurt, to be honest. One thing I don't want is to let the boys down, and I'll always pride myself on that.
With no wins on the board from 3 matches so far, Notts take the field searching for an elusive victory to put their red ball season back on track. For the bowlers, restricting Hampshire to 310 all out feels like a job well done. But by the final morning, Notts are in trouble. With only 8 second innings wickets standing and an improbable target to chase, it's all about survival.
A couple of years ago, I was lucky enough to meet a child heart surgeon, and I asked him, I said, what do you concentrate on every day? And he said, when I'm in the operating theatre, all I think about is stop the bleeding and the next 30 seconds. If I keep the child alive for 30 seconds, and I do that all day, the chances of him surviving are going to get better as the longer I go. And I thought last night, the position we're in right now is exactly that. But in terms of what we're trying to do today, stop the bleeding. 2 batters are out there, we stop the bleeding and we concentrate on what's right here in front of us. 30 seconds each ball. We do that all day, starting me and Carts, we've got a chance to save this game.
Yes,
Nash heeds his own advice, top scoring with a stubborn half-century. But ultimately, the game ends in another heavy defeat.
It's been probably one of the tougher 2 weeks I can remember for a long time. I don't think we quite fronted up the way we wanted to as a group. So I think we had a decent chat about it here. There was good honesty in the group to talk about it. And I think we got our rewards first innings, bowled them out for 310, and then we couldn't front up the bat. The batters especially know that we've got to be better than that, at the top of the order to set things up, and we've got to be competitive. And that's really, from that moment on, we were always scrambling.
You've got to find something as a batting unit. There's no doubt about it. I've said to the captain now, 6 digs in a row, we haven't batted longer than 70 overs. We've got to find something. That's, there's no way around that. We've got to bat longer. We've got to be able to soak up some dots sometimes. We've got to take pressure. We've got to take a good spell. That's a part. It's not one person. the collective. Anything now what we're moving to, other things happen in the game, we did some things really well, we missed opportunities, you know, as well at times, you know, that's part of it, we just got to take everything, we can discuss it after. But when people say winning and losing the same, they're not. Winning lasts for 24 hours-ish, probably, losing sticks to you. And it does it for a reason, it means you have to change and adjust.
The reason you have a director of cricket and a head coach is we sit here, so if there's a thing with a player and I'm not getting where I want to get to, I have another tier and you say, right, I think we should go and sit down with the director of cricket and we have a chat about this. But the club is king. The club's been here a long time, it's going to stay a long time. So for Mick to come in, especially after Mick's style isn't to be all over the players all the time, then I think we both knew it was going to carry some weight. It was going to have an impact, and we needed an impact. We needed another voice, I think, to say, right, okay, this is where the club are seeing it. The board, the committee, the fans, they're not happy.
Those of you who've been here for a while will know that I haven't spoken to you as a group for the 3 years since I stopped coaching. All right, the reason for that is this is Pete's team, this is Pete's changing room, this is your space. Okay, but we've now hit a point in this season where I feel it is appropriate to speak. And once I have spoken today, hopefully you won't hear from me again for 3 years, at least. Okay? But I think we all have to face the reality of the fact that the way that this team at the moment is currently performing is not acceptable to this club. The results that we are producing and the position we find ourselves in the league are completely at odds with, I think, where we felt we would be as a club and where the club expects us to be. There is a perception that some of you guys, many of us, are not hurting enough about where we are in the league. Only you can answer that yourself. If you've been playing in the first team, if you've been playing 4-day cricket, does it hurt? Do you really care that we're bottom of the league? If it doesn't hurt you, ask yourself why not. We are not here to play in 8th position. At the moment, I don't think any of us are being the best player that we can be, and that's why we're 8th. We've hit a point in the season where we have to show real mental toughness, resilience, whatever you want to call it, to play better, to get better results these next 3 games. All right, I have huge faith in everybody that's in this change room now, because I brought everybody who's in this change room now to the club in some shape or form, either with Pete or before Pete came along. But you now have to deliver that, because there is a belief outside of this room that we're not hurting, we don't care, we're not putting in. This is the point of the season where you have to front up and deliver, and it starts today, if it's not been happening already, because we really need to show something.
Nottinghamshire are defeated again, this time by reigning champions Surrey. The result cuts them further adrift at the bottom of the Specsavers County Championship table, and with a mountain to climb to avoid relegation. But first, attention's turned to the team's final chance of silverware in cricket's shortest format, the T20 Vitality Blast. The Outlaws side will have a very different look in a competition for which the bookies have them listed as odds-on favourites. White ball specialists Alex Hales and Harry Gurney enter the equation, and then there's the inspirational T20 captain, Australian international Dan Christian.
It's like a second home. I've played a lot of cricket here the last 4 seasons, so really excited to be back for my 5th. Pretty excited that we don't have to bowl at Ben Duckett and Joe Clark this year. They've been thorns in our side the last few years, particularly Ben Duckett. He single-handedly won that semi-final for Northants in 2016. He got 90 odd last year off about 40 balls, I think, down at Northants, and played beautifully. So, yeah, really exciting to have those 2 guys on our side, and I think that's one of the great things about having myself and Alex Hales and Harry Gurney coming back in. It's we're a fresh set of eyes, and we don't have the baggage, if you like, of that the 4 days gone so far, the championship stuff. So, the guys haven't played as well as they would have liked, but I think the 2020 is going to come at the right time. It's midway through the season. Everyone's going to be excited about it. We know it's a great time of year, and guys can certainly draw on the personal success that they've had the last couple of years, and also the team success.
I would feel within my rights to expect us to go deep in the competition, to expect us to qualify out of the group stages, and then from there onwards, it's knockout cricket. So you've got to win 3 games to lift a trophy. So I think we've got a really strong team. I think last year was a slightly transitional year. From 2017, we had again a very strong team, won the trophy. Then last year we were slightly in transition, and this year everyone, you know, the youngsters are another year more experienced, and we've brought in a couple of high quality players as well. So
I think we, over the last 10 years, we've been such a batting heavy side. We've always been about posting big scores, and we're blessed here to play on such a good wicket at Trent Bridge. But I think, you know, the best thing we're going to have to do well is adapt to conditions. I think the wickets this year may be a little bit slower because we've had the World Cup here and stuff like that. So I just want us to be very adaptable, because I think we're going to play on all sorts of different surfaces, and that's something maybe we haven't done quite as well as we could have done in the past. Is find ways to win on slower wickets. I'd like us. I think the word is to be adaptable. So I think we're going to need it this year. We've got some amazing death bowlers, which at this ground is essential. You know, when you play on a small ground and usually a decent wicket, you need the best death bowlers around, and yeah, we're blessed with that. There's nothing better than it when you sit down after a game, having given it your all, turned over the opposition and sat there talking about it with your friends over a cold beer. You know, that's what you play the game for, is those winning feelings.
Well, unfortunately, he's picked up an injury to his left knee. Not ideal timing, to be honest. It's obviously come in the thick of it. We're heading down to London this evening to see a consultant down there to get his opinion on the best, most appropriate sort of way forward from here.